I always thought my fiancée, Emily, was the love of my life. We had been together for 5 years, building what I believed to be a strong and unbreakable bond. She was smart, beautiful, and kind, or at least that's what I used to believe. I trusted her completely, never once doubting her loyalty. I had no idea that trust was about to be shattered in the worst way possible. This is the story of how I discovered my fiancée cheated at her bachelorette party in Vegas, how I made her think she got away with it, and how I destroyed her dreams by canceling the wedding in the most epic way possible. Emily and I met in college. She was everything I had ever wanted in a partner: smart, funny, and incredibly caring. We started dating in our senior year, and after graduation, we moved in together. Over the years, we built a life, supporting each other through career changes, financial struggles, and everything in between. When I finally proposed, it was the happiest moment of my life. We had spent years dreaming about our future, and now it was all coming together. She said yes with tears in her eyes, holding me tightly, promising that she would love me forever. We spent months planning the wedding. Every little detail was perfect: our dream venue, a stunning guest list, and a honeymoon in Greece. I poured everything into making this the best day of our lives. But looking back, I realized that while I was busy planning our future, Emily was busy ruining it. About a month before the wedding, Emily and her bridesmaids planned a trip to Las Vegas for her bachelorette party. I had no problem with it. I trusted her completely. She left with excitement in her eyes, promising she'd call and check in every night. And for the first 2 nights, she did. She sent me pictures of their dinners, their sightseeing adventures, and their time at the casino. Everything seemed normal. But then on the 3rd night, something changed. She didn't call. No texts. No updates. Nothing. I tried not to overthink it, assuming she was just caught up in the fun. But deep down, a nagging feeling of unease settled in my gut. The next morning, she finally texted, "Emily, sorry babe. We had a crazy night. Fell asleep and forgot to text. Love you." That was it. No details, no photos from the night before. Something felt off. I tried pushing my doubts aside. I wanted to trust her. I needed to trust her. But trust is a dangerous thing when it's given to the wrong person. A few days later, Emily returned from Vegas. She was different. At first, I couldn't pinpoint it, but there was something in the way she looked at me. Guilt. Hesitation. I asked her how the trip went, and she gave me generic answers. It was fun, or the girls had a great time. But whenever I asked about that 3rd night, the night she went silent, she got nervous. I brushed it off, not wanting to seem paranoid. But then, fate intervened in the form of one of her bridesmaids, her best friend, Rachel. Rachel and I had always gotten along well. She was blunt, funny, and had a terrible poker face. One afternoon, a week after the Vegas trip, she came over to help Emily finalize the wedding seating chart. While Emily was in the kitchen, Rachel casually said, "I still can't believe what happened in Vegas." My heart stopped. "What happened in Vegas?" I asked carefully. Rachel's eyes widened, realizing she had just said something she shouldn't have. She laughed awkwardly and tried to change the subject. But it was too late. Something did happen, and I was going to find out what. That night, while Emily was asleep, I did something I never thought I'd do. I checked her phone. Her messages were clean, too clean, like she had deleted everything. But then I checked her hidden photo album. And that's when my world collapsed. There were videos. A private hotel suite. Loud music. Emily dancing on top of a guy who definitely wasn't me. Shots being taken. Clothes being removed. It was clear as day. She had cheated. She had lied. She had destroyed everything. I sat there in the darkness, my whole body trembling. My entire future had just been rewritten in the worst way possible. But I didn't wake her up. I didn't scream or throw things. I smiled, because at that moment I knew exactly what I was going to do. Emily had no idea I had seen the videos. For the next few weeks, I acted like nothing had changed. I kissed her, told her I loved her, and played the role of the devoted fiancé. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, I was making moves. I quietly contacted all the wedding vendors and canceled everything, without telling her. I gathered every piece of evidence and sent it to her parents, her bridesmaids, and even her boss. I prepared the most unforgettable wedding speech of all time. Then finally the wedding day arrived. Emily was glowing with excitement, completely oblivious to what was about to happen. Guests arrived, the venue was set, and the ceremony was moments away from starting. That's when I took the microphone. Everyone went silent as I stood at the altar, looking at Emily with a smile. Before we begin, I want to share a little story. Emily smiled nervously, probably thinking I was about to give a romantic speech. A few weeks ago, my beautiful fiancée went to Vegas for her bachelorette party. She had an unforgettable night. So unforgettable, in fact, that she forgot to tell me about it. Murmurs spread through the crowd. Emily's smile disappeared. I pulled out my phone and tapped the screen. Behind me, a projector came to life. And then, in front of every guest, the videos played. Emily's face turned white. Gasps filled the room. Her mother started crying. Her father's face turned red with rage. Ladies and gentlemen, this wedding is officially canceled. Emily, I hope you and the guy from Vegas have a great life together. I dropped the microphone and walked out. Emily tried calling me for weeks. Texts, voicemails, emails, I ignored them all. Her parents disowned her. Her friends abandoned her. The guy from Vegas? He ghosted her. She lost everything. As for me, I moved on, found someone better, built a life free from lies. Because the best revenge isn't anger. It's making them realize they ruined their own life. And Emily? She'll never forget the day I exposed her for the world to see.